Today we're using the new LMG in Battlefield 6, talking about a new mouse that I've been using, running through some tips and tricks, playing on the new map in Breakthrough, which I think is actually one of the better Breakthrough maps in the game, and also addressing some things and topics that I talked about in the past but I never really followed up on, I suppose. So it's going to be a bit of a old school YouTube gaming commentary here. Obviously I'm not recording the commentary live for this one, and this is a video that I recorded and I've cut it up and shown some of the highlights. So new LMG, I think it's pretty good. I haven't maxed it out or anything like that. I got a suppressor for it, which I think you kind of need in BF6, right? But the weapon progression is still so slow in this game. I can't believe that they haven't addressed it yet, but it is what it is. I've been trying to get as many kills with it as possible, and in this match, of course, attacking on Breakthrough. And I was just trying to focus on positioning, movement, and also tap fire. I used to do a lot of tips and tricks commentaries back in the day, you know, especially during that BF3, BF4 era, but I just kind of stopped doing them. And I thought, why not bring it back in this video? No time better than now. And we'll talk about some of the decisions that I'm making. And yeah, it was a good match. I really enjoyed it. And I think Breakthrough on this map, it feels like the map has actually been designed with that in mind, rather than, oh, let's just throw a Breakthrough layer on top. It's in 4 distinct sectors where you've got different biomes and varieties of environment, and it just plays really well. I have played it as Defender once or twice, but all I was doing was mortaring. So I'm making a video on the mortar. It can be kind of good. There's a little trick you can do with the ammo box and the perks that you can select. But yeah, on attack, I have so much fun on this map. It's got a whole narrative to it, and I think I mentioned this in a previous video. It kind of reminds me of Unreal Tournament Assault Mode, which had a bit more narrative, attack and defend. I don't know if any of you guys watching actually played that game. I'm sure there must be some watching that did, but yeah, I think DICE actually did a very good job with this. It's just that there's only one new map, you know, and I've talked about this many times in the past. While the content has been good, I think the map is great. The new weapons are interesting. I like the new gadget, the recon gadget. There's only one map at launch of season 2. Yeah, we're getting another one in a month, but that's it for the rest of the season. So we've got 2 maps in 12 weeks, and yeah, it's not enough really. They did actually do some interviews with press as well a couple days ago, which I don't think they did for season 1, or maybe I just missed it, but they were quite candid about how the response has been to the seasonal content and the launch of the game and everything. And there was some really interesting quotes there. I'm going to do a separate video on this because I've been reading all the interviews and collecting all those little nuggets. So I'm going to put a proper video together for that to summarize everything and how they're going to change the game going forward because of that feedback and because of the reaction to the live service. But much like with anything in life, there's positives and negatives, right? And as a fan, it's okay to like parts of the game and dislike others. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't have to be a 1 and a 0. Now, real life is all different shades of grey. It's not black and white. So you can enjoy parts of something, but at the same time also dislike elements of it. Nothing's perfect. For me, as I've always said, I think there's a great foundation here. I have fun when I play the game. But on the flip side of that, I think it needs more depth, more teamwork. I can't believe that we still don't have a proper server browser. And it baffles me that Battlefield Studios haven't focused on delivering more maps per season. I don't get that. Because, like I said in that video I did a couple of days ago, it's not like they've had 7, 8 plus years of feedback that we need more maps in the game. So the fact that that production pipeline wasn't put into action well in advance for BF6, I think something's gone very, very wrong there. But it is what it is. Hopefully from this point, in a couple of those interviews, they were saying that season 2 is like a springboard moment for them. Hopefully things change in the future and we do get more maps per season and more toys to play with, more things to do. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. So attacking's been pretty good so far. Taking out that vehicle there. I could only see the top of the turret really. But I did like a whole flank. I don't know if you realized when I was waffling a bit there. I did the goblin run, the crouch run, all the way around on the left. And got on their flank and managed to take a load of them out. But as I said, I've been focusing on tap fire with this gun. Because in BF6, tap fire is quite strong, as is bursting, especially if you're at any kind of medium to long range. And like I said, I don't know if this is a meta build for the new LMG or anything, but I've been using this new mouse. I talked about it in a previous video. It's the Logitech Super Strike. And after I mentioned it, there was quite a few comments from people asking what my impressions of it were. So I wanted to talk about that today, because the reason that I bought it is that there hasn't really been any new technology for gaming mice in a long time. I mean, in 2018, I got the G Pro Wireless, and then in 2020, I got the Super Light, because that was like a bit of an upgrade. And I haven't changed since, really. I mean, I've used others like the Death Adder, the wireless one, but the Super Light was just very good because I like the shape of it. It's got a great sensor on it, low latency, long battery life, quite light as well. I think it was like 61, 62 grams, something like that from memory. But yeah, very consistent, doesn't skip, and just a really great all-round mouse. But there hasn't been any new tech at all until this thing came along, and I managed to get it on day one from a shop called Argos, which is a store in the UK that does like toys, hardware, tech, whatever. So I've been using it for about a week now. The thing with this mouse is that it doesn't use a mechanical switch. It uses this new technology that Logitech are calling hits. And this isn't an ad, by the way. I'm not working with Logitech or anything. I bought the mouse with my own money. You'll see that there's no links on the screen, nothing in the description, nothing that says it's sponsored, which I legally have to do if a video is sponsored. I bought it, I paid for it, I've been using it. I don't have any relationship with Logitech, just to make that clear. So it uses this new tech called hits, where instead of a mechanical switch, it's almost like a pad under the left and right mouse buttons that has an inductive trigger system. It has a bit of haptic feedback on it too, so you can feel when you press, but essentially what it boils down to is that the click latency is lower, so you can click quicker. Logitech are claiming that that's 30 milliseconds quicker, but you can also click much faster repeatedly, and I tested this. I can click way faster with this mouse than I ever could with my Super Light, because it just takes so little pressure to actually click the button. And it took a bit of getting used to, because like I said, it doesn't click, so it feels quite different to your typical mouse. But now that I've been using it for a while, I plugged my Super Light back in, and I don't think I could go back to it after using this, because it's just way more comfortable, and it just feels like an instantaneous response from my brain sending the signal to my finger, and then the mouse instantly clicks. It just feels like I'm more connected, I suppose. I know sometimes when I'm doing commentary, my mic's pretty good, but occasionally you would hear a mouse click, but there's no chance you would hear this. I mean, I'm doing it right next to the microphone now. Hold on. It's not even picking it up because it's that quiet. So yeah, basically for me, this is a straight upgrade over the Super Light and the Super Light 2. It isn't going to make you a god at aiming or anything, because you still have to be the person that's moving the mouse around with your hand, right? But actual clicking, there's some science behind it. It does feel quicker to me. Like I said, takes a bit of getting used to, but I feel like the clicks are just much faster. Could be placebo. I do feel like I'm reacting a bit faster. It's the same shape as the Super Light 2, so I don't have to get used to a new shape or anything. It's just the click is a bit different. So no real negatives for me. I'm having a good time with it. I might change the default skates over in the future, but after using it for a week, I'm going to stick with it long term. I'm somebody who doesn't really change hardware that often. I do a lot of research on, monitors, mouse, keyboard, headset, whatever. I watch videos, I read reviews, and then I just pick something, buy it, and if I like it, I'll stick with it for years and years. So I don't change my setup that often. I know people often ask like, oh, do a setup tour, do a setup. Honestly, my setup's just really boring. It is my job though, so I'm fortunate that I can expense a lot of this stuff. And in terms of price, it's definitely on the more expensive end for the gaming mouse. It cost me £160, so it's up there as one of the most expensive. And I won't be able to tell you if I think it's worth the money or good value, because I think value is subjective and it depends on your goals, your needs, resources, where you're at in life, whatever. So I can't tell you if it's worth the money. I think that's entirely up to the individual, but for me, I think it's a good product. I like it. So back to the gameplay then. It's been a bit hectic, but we've continued to push forward, and we're on the last objective here. Still got 216 tickets, 215, and I wanted to prime this right flank, because I know if I get over this wall, I can actually get behind them, go down the stairs and get around onto the objective. But there's a lot of resistance. Luckily, I've got a 50 round mag. I just unlocked the 100 round mag. So maybe if I had that, I would have been using that in this gameplay. But we were on the 50 here. Couple kills, and then I got onto the objective around the back. So this is a cheeky little flank, and here I made the wrong decision. Instead of just pushing into that room there, I decided to reload because I only had 30 bullets left when I could have had an extra 20. But in that particular case, with hindsight, I should have just gone with the 31, run into that room, and I could have picked up a few kills and perhaps helped the team push.